it can be a challenging thing if you're not doing it on a regular basis. Again, I always say this, but the more that you can be outputting on a regular basis, you're basically going to, it's like there's this great Ed Sheeran line that he talks about in a movie that I highly recommend watching called Songwriter. And he talks about that, like, it's like writing songs is like moving into a house with a faucet that is running muddy water. And so what you want to do is you want to turn that faucet on and let the muddy water run through the system. You may have heard this before. You want to let that muddy water run through the system until the water starts to go clean. This is your creative process. And this isn't just for making music. This is for anything. And especially with music, because music requires you to really music really requires you to put yourself into the thing. And it can be like sometimes the more vulnerable that you are with your music, the more powerful it is, quite often, which is really weird and tricky. And so the more that you can do it and you can find a rhythm of tapping into stuff that's inside of you that to you, if you do it a lot, you will just feel more comfortable with doing that. And that's an advantage, I would say, to individuals that are like people that have like a publishing deal where they're being put in rooms with people all the time. There's pros and cons to everything, but one thing that's really powerful is just to be able to tap into parts of yourself that that may be challenging to do if you're not consistently creating. And so the more that you're consistently creating, you can remove barriers that are in your mind right now as it pertains to like listening back to something and having judging yourself or whatever that is, that you can sort of slowly turn into that clear water. And then it starts to become pure. And even at that point, you're still going to write a bunch of turds. This just is what it is because everybody just does that. Like you just have to. But the more that you do it consistently, I know that sounds cliche maybe, but it's really the reps. It's like when it comes to making music, it's really about time spent. It's about hours put in, 10,000 hour rule, whatever, people say. But, and also making music's amazing, but oftentimes a lot of people's music can sit on a surface level because they are just not doing it in a way where it allows them to just like dig the well deeper and deeper so you can access the goods inside, if that makes sense. And so I highly recommend consistently doing something and listening to it and in a private manner where you can basically get really comfortable with it. And still I don't even know if there's a point at which you can fully not be judging what you create, but I think the further that you can get away from it so you can let it be and move on into another thing and get distracted with something else that's exciting from you, use your ADD, your human ADD, can be very helpful for maintaining that. So just keep creating, find a consistent rhythm with it, and don't allow yourself to linger on anything too much, because if you're judging yourself, you're not in the flow. You're going upstream. We want to send you downstream so that you're with the flow.